Good morning. It is currently 6:56 a.m. We are in episode number 3 of this grand finale series. I don't even know what I'm going to call it yet. I've been filming it so fast I haven't had a chance to actually figure out the name. But we are currently 3 weeks out from competing. We're wrapping things up and we got a big session today. We have dips. We're going for a PR, so we're gonna hit some big numbers. We're just moving right along. Last week was strong. We're gonna make sure this week is stronger. We're gonna work for every rep today. We're going to pay attention to detail. We are making sure that we check all of the boxes and get everything that we need to do done in order to perform at our highest as we prepare for this competition. So let's get it going. It's just one plate. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Well, we just hit a PR, albeit 5-pound PR, but it's pretty big in the grand scheme of things, considering that dips have been notoriously a mediocre lift for me, and now they seem to be moving. I think that my form broke down a little bit. I can't make too many excuses, man. I don't think I was as locked in as I would have wanted to be. And I forgot my wrist wraps in the car. I didn't want to go outside and get them because I didn't want to throw off the progression that I was on and the timing, so I figured I'll just go for it. Also, I think I opened up a little bit at the chest. I'm gonna watch it back right now and give you an immediate reaction. I was definitely pacing around because I was just trying to psych myself up. I mean, hey, we did well, all things considered. I think that the proper setup, we would definitely do it a little bit better. Let's see. Oh, that was good. Okay. All right, so definitely opened up at the chest, which I'm not super happy about. I think what happened though was as soon as I stepped out with the weight, it just didn't feel as strong as I would have wanted it to. Panicked. I think we panicked just a little bit mentally just because just having not done that weight. But let's see. Depth was on the money though. Depth was good. There we go, man. That's like 102.5 or something like that. I'll take it, but I think we can do better, man. I think we can definitely do better. So if we can get a proper full rep where like I stay in that shoulder protraction the entire time and we push through it, I'll be a lot more confident in that rep. But hey, you know what? PR's PR, I'll take it. So we're moving on to back downs. Let's knock those out. We need strong reps, we need clean reps. This whole session, we gotta be on top of it. We have to be on top of it. All right, so that's a wrap on dips for today. Let's take a moment to reflect on what just went down. At the end of the day, I should be proud that I hit a PR. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care that much, to be honest. It's what goes down in comp that really matters to me. I can hit 300 pounds here, and if that doesn't, you know, actualize itself in the competition, and it's not really worth a whole lot, but a couple likes on Instagram, right? And that's not what we're here for. We're to win. And so, you know, we got to make sure that everything's dialed in. There were just a couple things that were off today. I didn't want to let them really throw me off in terms of my form, in terms of my preparedness, just the mental state that I was in going into dips today. But it definitely did affect me a little bit. Honestly, you know, it is what it is. Kind of have to just live with it at the end of the day and just recognize that just have to do better next week when we come back around to dips. And so truly, no point in making excuses. Form was definitely a little bit off today. I felt like form was breaking down towards the bottom of the rep. I wasn't able to hold my shoulder protraction firmly as I usually do, which I was not very happy about. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just like there are always fluctuations in little form and stuff like in form cues and different little things like that. And so, hey, as long as we feel dialed in and good to go on the day of the comp, then we'll be in good shape. Vibes are gonna be better, adrenaline's gonna be better. And you know, at the end of the day, I think things are going to work out just fine. So this is not any sort of cause for me to become concerned or worried. It's just one day of dips that was a little bit mediocre. Next week, we're definitely going to pick up on it. We're gonna make sure that dips are rock solid next week. We're gonna knock those out. And we're gonna move forward with just confidence, knowing that we're going to smash this weight in competition. We gotta, you know, sort of use all this data to figure out what our attempts are looking like in comp. At the end of the day, we'll go in with the plan, but it really comes down to how I feel in the warm-ups and then after the first attempt, and we go on from there. And in all likelihood, we're gonna push, man. We're gonna hit something big, and I'm very excited for that. So let's move on to bench. Let's knock that out. Keep going. It was actually a half decent set, but to be honest, it's just kind of like, whatever, we're just getting it done. Some people wonder about sort of like what type of motivation is required to be consistent in the gym, such as I am, going 5 days a week right now and training. And we have been training since the very end of the last competition in December. We were right back into the gym the following Monday up till now. And so at this point, it's been almost 6 months. And so that's just 6 months of consistent training with no breaks while traveling and doing all this stuff. And it's kind of like, what keeps you motivated? And it's like, yes, I want to win. Yes, I want to improve and get better and be the best at this. Be the king of the 73s in the US, and then, you know, move on from there and see what else lies in there. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when you have to complete 100 training sessions, for example, in order to get to your one goal, you know, in the day-to-day may seem like not very much, and it's kind of like, motivation is just nothing. Motivation is inconsequential at the end of the day, because motivation, it ebbs and flows. Some days you're going to be driven to go in and do it, other days you're really not. And you just have to show up. It's got to be a discipline. It's got to be, this is just what's required to get it done, and so I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do it, and that's really it, man. Like, I have, and I'll be completely honest, like after that dip session, that I was kind of just disappointed just based off of like how things are going right now. Like, I just don't even want to be here. And so I recognize I just need to get the work done, make sure that my reps are clean. We actually had a good set of bench just now. We have 2 more sets to go. I just want to knock it out and get out of here as quickly as I can and just move on with the day. And we're going to go back at it again tomorrow and hopefully come in with a better mentality and just get locked in earlier and just make this happen. All right, that is a wrap on bench. We actually finished pretty strong. I was able to get the form well enough. I think I was rushing a little bit towards the end, but I had to remind myself, it's like, hey, stop, take a pause. Let's get the form right, make sure that every rep is as best as we can possibly make it. So I got accessories now. Not gonna bother to record those. It's not interesting at all. So I will see you all tomorrow for the pull session. We're gonna have a better day. I can promise you that. All right, so before we actually get to day 2, we got some packages to open. One's from ProZiz, another from Amazon. Let's check it out. So let's start with the least important of the 2. I don't actually know how to open this. Cool. So here is what we have right here. This is an extra large wooden cutting board for all of you that meal prep like I do. I find myself using a cutting board almost every day, to be honest, when I'm just prepping for lunch and fruits and vegetables and different stuff like that. So I was originally using a plastic cutting board, but I wanted to, you know, stop ingesting all those microplastics, and I would highly suggest that you do the same. So grab yourself a wooden cutting board and probably live longer. Here we go. This guy open. What do we have here? Got ourselves some ProZiz socks. I didn't even remember that I ordered another ProZiz shirt. Very cool. We got some konjac noodle. We're on the weight cut right now, and I was curious to check this out. 0 fat, 0 carbs, 0 protein. It's literally just 8 calories. It's just a fiber. It's just a filler at the end of the day. Billion bars. We're gonna up my shower game a little bit. Good stuff. The box is loaded. We got some more of my favorite natural protein from ProZiz. This is the chocolate hazelnut flavor. Get you some, 100%. Whey protein bars right here. We got bars on bars. Energy bars from ProZiz. Another flavor energy bar. These look good. I can't wait to be off prep so I can actually eat stuff like this. Also, we got ourselves collagen here. Just re-upping on my stock. So only one of these bars are for myself, and really this is the one right here that I got. Everything else you see in this box is what ProZiz sent me as support for the national championship that's going to be happening in just 3 weeks. So these energy bars are going to be on display in the vendors' little booth area for people to grab and go. And so that is pretty sweet. So big shout out to Prozis for your support here, supplying us with that good old energy. And these look great. So I'm sure people are really going to enjoy this. All right, now I'll see you tomorrow. Welcome back to day number 2. We are at our 3-week mark, and I didn't want to really say anything to the camera until I got through my top set in the first set. Actually, I found out that I thought I had 40 pounds today for a top single for muscle ups, but we actually have 3x3s at 35 pounds with breaks in between. So I went for the top set because I was curious to see like how 40 pounds would move right now. And also I was experimenting with a single swing today versus the double swing that I usually do, just because the situation with the box is a little bit different. So I'm gonna do a little bit more experimentation today, try to figure out where or what setup is required for me to get the best swing that I possibly can. So we just make sure we get everything sorted out. So obviously that 40-pound test was a fail. That elbow moved back, and so that would have been no good. And I'm pretty sure that my hips deflected more than 45 degrees. But as we got on to dropping down to the 35 pounds, we were doing pretty well with those. So I'm gonna take a look at that right now because I'm curious to see how exactly it looked. Yeah, first rep was good. I want to try and avoid as much hip deflection as possible because we don't want to leave it in the judge's hands. So then really what I have to do with the rep is the aim is to get the most amount of height possible over the bar. So lower chest obviously is definitely enough. Lower chest is definitely enough to get you above the bar to complete the rep. But the closer I can get to my belly button is the less swing that my hips are going to need to be able to compensate. All right, so it took a couple reps, but I think we figured it out. There was a little tweak that I had to make with my timing, also a little bit with the form. Once we got the box to the right height as well, then I was able to get the arms locked out and figure out exactly how to enter the swing. And then that plus the timing that I had, it worked out. Last rep of this muscle up session in general was my very best rep. And I'm very happy about that because when I'm fatigued after having done all the other muscle ups in this session, we were still able to get the cleanest rep. I think I had the least amount of leg swing in the whole of any of the other reps that I did there. And so I'm super happy with the way that that ended. And so that's good stuff. I mean, we're moving on. We got some pulls to do and we're gonna keep going. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of taking notes when you train. Like if this stuff actually means something to you, make sure you write it down because there's so much to learn. You gotta be a student of the game. I was just thinking about that's actually kind of funny. The amount of time that we spend in the gym, say like half an hour, 2 hours, some people spend 3 hours a day in the gym just fighting against gravity. It's just kind of just a funny idea that I thought of. Like we really do just fight against gravity all day when we're in the gym. And I mean, I guess I'm getting good at it. We're gonna keep working, so let's go. Set one went pretty well. That was 145. Felt sufficiently fast. This happens to me every time. I'm supposed to do a 1 second pause. So we're gonna do a 1 second pause in the next set. So a lot of people are wondering, it's like, how do I improve? How do I improve? It's like, this is something that you have to do over and over and over again. And at the end of the day, the top guys in street lifting right now, they're like 3+ years in, right? This is only my first year in this sport in itself. And so I've made significant progress, but there's such a far road to travel on. And at the end of the day, it's all a time thing, right? And so like I can be working as hard as I possibly can, but what I do in 6 months cannot compare to what I can do in an entire year of working at that same level. There's, I guess, if anything, just also think about the fact that especially when it comes to training, there's only so much that your body can take, right? So same thing with maybe even just studying for a test, for example. At some point in time, you have to rest, you have to reload, and it's the same thing with your body. It works on different timing, obviously, because your body needs time and nutrients to be able to heal and to grow. But at the end of the day, there are ways. And so if someone's ahead of you, like the rest of these world champions are right now, then that means I need to work twice as hard to be able to catch up with them. But there's a specific way to do that that's not just doing twice the amount of reps, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. And I think we're definitely on that journey right now to figure out what exactly that is. And so it's the road to greatness, man, at the end of the day. Dare to be great, and that's what we're doing. All right, that's a wrap on this one. Not gonna show the accessories because it's kind of boring and we're just sticking with the main lifts with these full week of training videos. Feeling good. Pulls were good today. We were definitely making some progress on muscle ups and figuring out some of the details that we need to be able to push the higher weights. So definitely looking forward to what is to come. Pulls were good, the back downs, all that stuff. Feeling pretty good. So hey, I'll see you all tomorrow. We got a special guest, maybe two, that we'll be training with, so it should be a fun time. So I'll see you tomorrow. It is Saturday morning. We have a primary leg day that we're going to go and knock out. And so first we're going to take care of our pre-workout snack, which I'll show you in a second. Weighed in at 162.4 pounds today, so we're 0.2 pounds down from I think 3 days ago. Wednesday was the last time that I weighed, so we're definitely right on track. I thought I was going to be a little bit lower, but this is definitely not a problem. So we'll probably add in a tiny bit more cardio or something like that, just so I don't have to adjust my eating too much. But let's take a look at our pre-workout snack, and then we'll get to the gym and get this workout done. The first meal of the day is going to be rice cake with banana and honey. This is definitely one of the best combos to eat right before a training session. We have fast digesting carbs here, which is going to give me a ton of energy for this training session. So let's knock this out and get to the gym. So we have tempo squats for our main movement today. Really want to dial in the form and take time to figure out what the body is feeling, how the body is feeling. Definitely change of plans today. Was supposed to be doing a bit of a lab with one of my teammates, but had to shift the schedule, but that's all good. Work still goes on. Time is now 11:35. If we can be out of here in, let's say 2.5 hours max, I think that would be the best possible deal. So goal is to be out by like 2:03, 2:06. If I can beat that, I'll be really happy. 3 weeks out on the dot today, man. And so at this time in 3 weeks, we will be on the platform dominating the competition. All right, so let's get the quick fit check. Project 1% requisite collection going today. Nothing else really matters. We got custom Project 1% hat that we got, Nordic powerlifting shoes. I don't even know if you can see it from here. We went the gray and black today because we wanted to just keep it mellow. It's a bit of a gray day outside, so it's like not gonna go bright. We're gonna blend in with the gray. Just watch back the footage and I am okay with that set. I was definitely a little bit off balance. I could feel the difference. The bar wasn't as level on my shoulders as I would have wanted, but I had fairly consistent speed in both reps. Explosion looked really good. We looked really nice coming up. Timing was good on the way down as well. And so what we want to do is get our footing set a little bit more accurately in this next set, and then just really push through, and it'll be a breeze. At the end of the day, just some honest work today. Squats felt good, very smooth. We got our form dialed in towards the end. By the second set, things were starting to feel a whole lot better. Here we go. We got things together for those pulls. I'm super happy with that, especially with the last set. We had some excellent height. That's probably some of the highest I've been pulling. We were pulling below the chest, which is very solid. This is truly where champions are made. Oh man. Bulgarians, we have to go up. We're doing 80s today. This is gonna be absolute torture. If we win here, who's gonna stop me when we get to this competition? Come on now. Come on now. Who's gonna stop me? We got this. Every last set today has been the best set. This will be no different. Let's go. So that is a wrap on the training session for today. This actually ended up going a lot better than I thought it would. At the end of the day, I was kind of looking, just chill session, nothing too special today, just accessory work, but form was clean today. We got everything sorted out and we felt really strong towards the end. At the end of the day, I want to say that it's truly the sessions in which nothing's really going on. That's kind of where champions are made at the end of the day, because do you slack off or do you put in the work and train as if it were one of the hardest days of the week that you have to train? That's really it at the end of the day. So we're moving on, time to go make breakfast, and the time is currently 1:43. I said I wanted to be out by something like 2:30 or something, or 2. So we are ahead of schedule, which is awesome. So we're gonna go cook up something good. Let's do it. Gotta make a quick little stop. That's all I have to do. So I picked up some sourdough bread so that we can make French toast. Haven't made French toast in maybe 3 years, and the last time I made it was an absolute failure. So Chef Link is gonna show up today, I promise you that. I'm not filming the whole process because I don't have time for that, but I'll show you when it's done. This is what we got for breakfast. We have some homemade French toast, sourdough bread. We have Greek yogurt here, blueberries, all topped with some cinnamon, nutmeg, and maple syrup. Probably no better way to start off a Monday than with a bench PR. That was 250 for a single, highest that I have ever benched all time. So this is complete PR, which is very cool. Although that being said, I did already get 245 for 2. So a 250 is, to me, not honestly that impressive. I think we still have a range on our bench. That rep just now, I wasn't super happy with. I don't think I was as tight as I could have been. I'm gonna put the wrist wraps on. We're gonna see if that just helps me with like just a little bit more tightness. We're gonna clean this rep up and get it going. Let's get locked in for set number 2. You know what we've been on last set, better be the best set. Come on, come on, come on. Go. Much better, much better. As we said, last set, it's got to be the best set, and that was very solid. Felt really good on that one. We slowed down the descent, so we were a lot more controlled. Was able to feel more lat contraction there, and as soon as we started driving, we had a super smooth motion to get back up to the top, so very happy with that. Time to move on to dips. Let's go. So by the way, this shirt is from Prozis that says "This is the way," and I saw this on their site and I definitely wanted to get my hands on it. So shout out to them for sending me this shirt. Again, if you want to support me, you can always use my discount code LINK10 for a discount on any of your orders on Prozis. And so really when I saw this, one of the things that came to mind was sort of the path that's required to be able to become successful. So right now, as we are here on this street lifting journey, trying to figure out what sort of movements and what frequency and what our body is really going to work with properly in order to become as successful as possible in this sport, I realized that, you know, it's important to be able to take the hard way. And so whichever way is the least convenient, whichever way is going to force me to grind the most, that's truly the way that I need to take, because at the end of the day, there are going to be plenty of other guys who are taking the easy route, and if I take the hard route, I automatically will have the advantage over them. And so, hey man, we're going for that win. We're going for that win, so don't forget, this is the way. I don't know if I've spoken much about the fat grips that I have, but I found out, so one of the things that I really enjoy doing is sort of just hacking my form and figuring out specifically just what stimulus is required to be able to generate the most power in the lifts that I have, right? Because with 1 rep max competitions, our aim is to lift the most amount of weight. And so I'm trying to figure out what's giving me best bang for my buck. So I found out as I was using this bar, the reason, of course, why I got this bar was because I was able to have a thinner stance. So this is in terms of the width of my arms for the dips. And so the next thing that I noticed is that this was a really thin bar. And I figured I was sort of over gripping it in the sense that my hands were overlapping more than I wanted them to on this bar. So I decided to get some fat grips because I know they're good for forearm activation. And as soon as I tried them out, I think that very session, I noticed a massive difference in terms of the actual activation, the shoulder protraction that I was getting, the forearm activation, and all of that. So dips started improving significantly from there. And so really what happens here, at least for me specifically, is that when I have this wider grip that I can hold on to, it's forcing really more contraction in my forearm. And I think that really helps me to channel sort of that contraction all the way up into the shoulder so that I get better shoulder protraction, so that when we're pushing, we're maintaining the proper form with dips. And so that's the main reason why I did this. I find that this has helped me pretty significantly, and the bar that we're going to be using in competition is actually going to be fairly close to this actual thickness, so I'll be very comfortable with it in a couple weeks when we hop on the platform. So I guess one bit of advice that I would probably give to lifters within this space is when you're warming up, make sure that your warm-ups are as explosive, if not more explosive, than the top set that you're doing. You want to prime your central nervous system for the real work when you get to your working sets. So just because the weight's easy doesn't mean that you should slack off. Every rep should be explosive. Every rep needs to be, for me personally, I like to use my warm-ups as sort of a feeler to figure out where my dips are or where that lift is on that day. So if I'm not performing the lift at like 100% intensity, or like 90 to 100% intensity, then I really don't know where I am. So definitely try that out, and I think it'll make a difference in your training. Reps are feeling a little heavy today, but I have to take into account the fact that I literally just hit a PR on bench. So the chest is gonna be a little bit fatigued, and so that is where I'm feeling it mostly right now. So we're gonna take care of it, do less warm-up reps, and so when we get to the top set, hopefully we're not as fatigued. We're gonna knock these out, and we're gonna still make the weight move, because at the end of the day, man, this is where we win. This is where champions are made. We are good to go, man. We're good to go. Woo! Come on, come on. What a rep. Goodness gracious, that's like a solid RP13 right there. We grinded that one, but that was actually, I'm actually not upset about that at all, just considering the way the dips are feeling today. In order to not hit a sticking point, I had to open up at the chest, finding that my chest has become pretty strong when it comes to being able to squeeze out those reps towards the very end of the set. Or, for example, in a 1 repetition, when we had that 3-second descent, which is already brutal, we were able to just kind of grind straight through that. I think that was a pretty smooth movement. I'm gonna rest a little bit longer, see if I can regain a little bit of strength so we can hit that rep with a bit more aggression in the next set. At the end of the day, the mentality that we wanna go with is, if we got the rep, great, now do it again, but better. And so that's what we're gonna try to do here. Told you we'd clean it up. Overall, definitely happy with push today. We got it done with bench, we got it done with dips, even after being fatigued from bench, and so we're in good shape. That just means that we're getting a whole lot stronger, which is what I love to see, which is very nice. And so all I got left are accessories. We're doing some skull crushers. Not gonna show that, it's boring, but I will see you all tomorrow for the big session. You already know tomorrow's gonna be spicy. Tomorrow's one of those like competition defining days, and we're going to step up and make it happen. So I'll see you then. There are some days that you are just in the gym, just getting the work done, honest work, no big deal. And there are other days that are meet defining sessions, and today is one of them. This is probably the second biggest session that I'm going to have leading up into the meet. Next week is going to be the biggest one. So that means that we have to set the tone from now. We got to get after it today, and we got to smash every single thing in our way. So let's get after it. I'm telling you, this athletic tape plus that Prozis grip, game changer. Let's go. Not incredibly happy with that. Let's take a look. I was slow to close it. We've done 165 way faster than that. All right, so we just have to clean up that 165. First set was good. Like, we got decent height, but I think we can do a little bit better. I've done better on 165, so we're gonna clean that up and we're gonna keep rolling. Come on, come on. It's easy, come on. Easy, 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 light work. Pulls were not going the way as planned today, so I didn't feel like really saying anything or talking until we were completely done with them. Wanted to really just lock in and see how squats would go today, because as I was saying, today was a big day. We needed to really see how squats were feeling to just give us some information moving forward, and it worked out. I mean, definitely tired. I underslept, probably got around 5 hours of sleep last night. I went to bed really late because I was editing the video that gets posted today. That's a little irresponsible because of the fact that this is definitely the priority at the end of the day. I want to push out the content so everyone can see what I am doing, but at the same time, the work is what matters most, because when I step on the platform, hey, if I don't perform, then, you know, what's the point of the content in the first place, right? We see the journey and then I self-sabotaged, and we don't want to have that happen. And so regardless, the weight moved, 425, we got it done. I think I can get it a bit faster, and there are a couple little things that I want to dial in I haven't even taken a look at the footage as yet, so I'm not sure how the speed looked in the video. It probably looked faster than it felt. It didn't feel very slow at all, and I didn't feel like I was really in danger at any point in time of getting stuck, so that's good. We haven't reached any sort of area of a sticking point, so I think next week is going to go well, and next week I'm going to make sure I don't make the same mistake. We're going to be well rested, we're going to carb up, and we are going to be in great shape for the training session. So next up, we got some back downs. We're going to knock those out and then probably call it there for this video. So let's do some back downs. That is a wrap on this one. We got it done with squats today. One thing that I was really proud of was the fact that in my back downs, I did not rush the reps. I feel like notoriously I tend to be the one to rush my back downs because I just want to get it done and sort of sacrifice the quality of the reps. But at the end of the day, we want quality over quantity. Every rep counts towards our total in the end, so we have to keep that in mind. So very happy with the performance today in terms of squats. We have the ability to do even better next week. I'm gonna make sure I take care of nutrition, take care of my sleep and all of that, and we'll be good to go. So at the end of the day, we're really closing down. We are a little over 2 weeks out from this competition. Finishing up this peak, we got one more week of heavy movements, and then that's a wrap. Then from there, we sort of deload and go into competition, and we're gonna take this thing. I'm telling you that, we're gonna take this thing. And so we just have to have that right mentality. I think one thing that I'll leave with you today is that your attitude determines your altitude, right? And so the thing about it is, if you're always in a bad mood about whatever it is that you're doing, I head into the gym and maybe I don't want to lift, but at the end of the day, we got to remember that just being able to lift is literally a privilege, right? So if I can go in with a good attitude, I may not feel the best, but I got to push myself to just be better, and that is going to get me up to the next level. So don't forget that. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you if you've made it this far in this video. These vlogs are definitely a little bit longer because it's going through my entire week of training, but hopefully you're able to get a little bit of an insight on the type of work that I'm putting in and the intensity of work that I'm putting in right now. Definitely a lot of stress on the body, and so got to be careful with everything that we're doing and make sure that we recover properly, but it's all a good deal. We're almost there, and I'm ready to be done with this weight cut right now, man. I just want to eat. I just want to snack, to be honest. I just want to have chips and stuff like that. That's honestly the biggest thing that is just missing right now from my diet that I would prefer to have, but that's really it. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this video with a friend, someone that you know. If you want to support me, use my discount code link10 on ProZiz to get some items there on a discount, save some money, which would be awesome. That does help me out as well. And by the time this video comes out, our clothing brand from Project 1% would have already launched, so go ahead and snag a couple pairs. These shirts are fire. I wore a couple of them in this video for this week of training, and it's always comfortable. Just super heavy weight shirt, slightly oversized, and it just feels good for whatever type of lifting that you're doing. Calisthenics, bodybuilding, CrossFit, you name it. This is the way to go. So definitely grab some of that stuff. And hey, appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to dare to be great. Don't forget that pressure is a privilege, and we are doing this because we have the ability to do so. We want to remain grateful. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.